Okay, well, we'll talk further in a moment, but let's get some views, shall we, from the ground itself. Duncan Hodge, the former Edinburgh and Scotland fly half, is alongside Elmer Schmidt.
Good afternoon, and it is a good one here in Edinburgh. It's a beautiful day. Duncan Hodge has made his return to Edinburgh Rugby. I'm sure it must be unusual for you to be here not in team kit these days.
It is hugely unusual, I must admit. I'm loving my weekends, but I'm very glad to be back and can't wait to see a good game of rugby.
Just quickly, if you were the visiting coach today, what would you target? How do you beat this Edinburgh team right here?
Yes, obviously Edinburgh are incredibly strong up front. I think Cardiff will probably target a bit of a territory-based game. Priestland at 10, look to camp in Edinburgh's half, and their other huge threat is obviously just their strength over ball. Jackals, turnovers, they lead the league stats on that. So I think they will want Edinburgh to play from deep, but look to turn them over at the breakdown.
Okay, well, I caught up with Gareth Baber a little earlier, the new assistant coach here in Edinburgh. All for gold medal win at the Olympics in 5 years with Fiji. You've now transitioned from being head coach to assistant coach. What has that been like, Gareth?
Yeah, it's been good. I obviously was in sevens for a wee while there with Fiji, and my intention was at the end of that was to get back into 15s, and I've been given that opportunity here in Edinburgh, and I'm working with a good group of players and a particularly knowledgeable and hard-working group of coaches as well. And there's an ambition about the club that drew me to it in the first place, and the conversations I've had around you haven't disappointed. So I'm looking forward to just getting a game on again and going against Cardiff.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough ask this for Cardiff today.
Yeah. Let's go pitch side. It's Spelman, Duncan.
Certainly not how Dai Young would have wanted his team to restart their season. I mean, an 11-week break effectively is a bit like a restart to a season. Have you got any advice for Cardiff, the way things are going right now? How can they have more success on attack?
Yeah, it's a tough situation when you look at the scoreboard. Edinburgh are not giving in at all. They're in defence and attack. They've been relentless. I just wonder with Jared Evans on now whether they can break play up a bit, whether they can kick. Also, we've just seen Ben Bellicott standing inside us here on second on the edge, whether they can get the ball to that edge that bit quicker. One less phase to get the ball to width, avoid some of that physicality that Edinburgh are bringing, and spread the game a bit earlier.
There was a bit of theorising earlier on commentary about whether having the squad players here and having them be as vocal is direct tactical advantage. Is that something you guys started?
I think it is something that clearly we're seeing on our right-hand side here. I think it is something that most teams, to be fair, I think are doing. But I think it does make a difference. I mean, I think going into the game, we'd have expected Cardiff to win a lot of breakdown penalties, and in fact, it's been the other way. I think whether that's good play or whether that's influence the referee in a good way, but that's been the sort of story of the game so far. Unfortunately,
the golf cart is on pitch for the second time this game.
So 27 points to 3, not the sight we would have wanted to see.